effectively combating fraud and financial crime remains a priority for local companies. Now, this garnered more impetus following South Africa's grey listing almost a year ago. Yet, economic crime and financial fraud in particular is still flourishing. The recently released SABRIC annual crime stats in 2022 highlights that this broad-based increase, which also encompasses cybercrime and banking fraud, is on the rise. Now, this begs the question, have we learned anything from impartial assessments and warnings issued prior to South Africa being grey listed? Well, joining me to answer that question and more is Marcin Nadolny, who's the head of Regional Fraud and Security Practice at the SAS Institute. Thank you very much for your time this morning. And I suppose that is the big question in terms of us taking away some form of learning from the grey listing, but also creating some form of collaboration between companies in South Africa, and wondering what these collaborations across the financial ecosystem should entail.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. So we observe across the recent years significant rise in the fraud and financial crime, especially in the context of accelerated digitalization. And SABRIC numbers definitely prove this. But also I want to mention to you some comparison between global and local view. We performed last year questionnaire across consumers in 16 different countries. We checked this with more than 13,000 of consumers, and what it comes out of here that more people are victims of fraud, but also it comes that more people are willing to share more data, right? To share more information with the financial institutions to protect them better. And what's interesting from that is also that for how South Africa is looking on that picture. So in South Africa, more people are victims of fraud. More people are worried of fraud today. So 8 of 10 people are falling victim of fraud at least once. Yeah? But also, interestingly, people in Africa are more willing to share personal data, more willing to use special methods like behavior biometrics authentication when they process their transactions or payments. And that's really very important.
Yeah, it really is, because then you wonder about how data can then be leveraged to better inform organizations and I suppose individuals on where they need to be more effective safeguards against these financial crimes.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely in that era of rising financial crimes, and we see South Africa is even more on the spot than Europe, for example. There is a need for closer cooperation in the financial services industry. So banks, payment processors, and other financial organizations, they exchange data. They exchange the data about frauds, about fraud patterns. They collaborate together. But also there is a need for the cross-industry data exchange to understand not only, frauds, right, from other and fraud entities that are in the other industries, but also to have additional data points to better spot right. So, for example, when we think about telco data, right, telco traffic data could really help to fight spoofing, right? The data around SIM cards, right, could help to fight SIM swaps, and so on and so on. But there are also more data areas, right, that are important to better fight fraud. So it's about to understand your device, right, how you are using your device, which you are banking, how you use the mouse on your computer when you are banking, or the keyboard, how you move your phone. All of these things are important in order to spot on the one side if it's a real person or a bot. It's you or it's someone else who just stolen your device, or it's you, but someone is calling you to with the authorized push payments, so pushing you to do the payments. Yeah.
Yeah.
So multiple data points are important now to to spot fraud and financial crime, but also the exchange, the cooperation in the industry is really important.
So then what is meant then when we talk about fraud analytics and continuous monitoring and how those solutions can be employed for early detection and prevention or tracking and investigation of fraud or money laundering incidents?
Yeah, so fraud analytics with multiple techniques that are within that term, right? It's really important to analyze the data that we mentioned, right? That are huge volumes of data, and we cannot do that manually. We need to employ anomaly detection, machine learning models, artificial intelligence, network analytics. So different techniques together to understand what are the fraud trends, right? What suspicious situations are in the data. And that's really the power of this modern technology to spot fraud, right, properly, but also to reduce customer friction. Yeah? And now also fraudsters are also using AI, right? They are using generative AI to generate deep fakes, right? To make fake documents, fake photos, fake videos, fake voice messages. We need, and we are doing this, right? We are exploring the possibility to use generative AI in that space as well, right? So to fight this, to be able to find what is really fake or not, right? That's one aspect, but also to leverage generative AI in other ways for our good, right? So we can, with generative AI power, we can really simulate also fraudsters' behavior to better understand what they are doing and to better protect consumers.
And I thank you very much for those insights. That is Marcin Nadolny, who is the head of regional fraud and security practice at the SAS Institute.